Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Samad. Thanks for joining us. Commuters faced a slippery situation this morning. Torrance Fire responded to the intersection of 166 and Gramercy for a traffic collision. Once they arrived, Los Angeles County Fire was already there assisting the drivers involved. Officials say the collision caused a reclaimed water event to flood. Also, a power pole knocked down live electrical wires, prompting Southern California Edison to arrive on scene. Cal Water was also there to deal with the reclaimed water vent. 2 people were rushed with minor injuries to local hospitals. This week, libraries across the country are inspiring teens to succeed through technology. Teen Tech Week is underway, and it's a time for libraries to showcase all the digital resources and services that are available to help teens succeed in school and prep for college. This year's theme is Libraries Are for Creating. It encourages teens to take advantage of all the great digital tools offered to become content creators and to use resources that help them share their creations. In Torrance, there are events lined up at the Katie Geiser Civic Center Library. Today's event was called Lightbulb Aquariums, which gave teens a chance to be creative through crafts. Tomorrow is called Rubber Band Helicopters, and Thursday is Cardboard City. The programs are free and no registration is required. For details, head to the city's calendar at torranceca.gov. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a police officer? Well, the Torrance Police Department is hosting its Partners in Policing class once again in the spring, and enrollment is now open. The program is available to all Torrance residents, people that work in Torrance, and anyone else that has affiliations with the city. It educates the community by giving them a chance to walk in the shoes of an officer and experience hands-on exercises relating to the duties, services, and responsibilities of policing. Students will meet officers from various departments. It's held twice a year, and by graduation time, participants complete 10 to 13 sessions involving everything from the police academy to prosecution of criminals. Classes are held every Thursday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. for 12 weeks. To enroll, go to torranceca.gov. A Torrance-based company known for its aloe yogurt announced today that customers will soon be able to enjoy their products in a different way. Morinaga Nutritional Food Inc. will debut a new line of drinkable low-fat aloe vera Japanese-style yogurt. Their A-Love brand, which already has a scoopable yogurt option, will now have a drinkable one that will be shown off at the upcoming Natural Products Expo West Show in Anaheim. The new yogurt line will have 3 flavors, including original, coconut, and strawberry banana. Morinaga has aloe vera gel pieces and uses a process that removes the best pieces of aloe vera gel from premium plant leaves. It's currently available in more than 450 stores and is considered the first Japanese-style aloe vera yogurt in America. For more information about A-Love, you can visit aloveyogurt.com. A popular cookie is giving away free candy bars to celebrate its flavor. National Oreo Day is celebrated today, and you can claim a free bar by filling out a form. Fans can go to OreoBirthdayGiveaway.com, and the first 1 million to complete it will receive a coupon via email for 1 free Oreo bar. It lands on the delicious cookie's 106th birthday. The first Oreo cookie was produced at a Chelsea Market bakery in Manhattan, New York in 1912. A large construction project that is bringing entertainment to the boulevard is making progress. You can now see the framework of the new Dave & Buster's location. The popular restaurant, arcade, and entertainment facility is located at the southeast portion of the mall just north of Sears, facing Del Amo Circle East. The main floor of the business will feature a gaming area and a full-service restaurant and bar. There'll also be 2 banquet rooms for private functions, more than 71,000 square feet of vacant mall space just north of Sears was demolished and reconstructed. Dave & Buster's, according to Del Amo Fashion Center, is expected to open this summer. A capital project will be soon bringing shade to an area that hosts many city events. The General Services Department is looking for City Council to approve a contract agreement for a vendor that would design and build a shade canopy at the Torino Festival Plaza at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center. The plaza is a popular place for festivals, performances, exhibits, and special events. The canopy is designed to keep out the sun and cut down on wind. Officials say the addition won't be higher than the height of surrounding roofs and won't affect trees in the area. People had the chance to get a first look at Torrance Fire Department's newest engines. Torrance Fire had its fleet additions showcasing this week at the Firehouse World Conference in San Diego. The bright red trucks were made in Wisconsin by Pierce. The trucks include an updated door seal with the latest fire patch. The conference is an event that showcases equipment and devices for the industry. More than 500 exhibitors came out for the show. Let's get to the weather. Unlike last week, the sun is shining across Southern California. Today it was partly cloudy with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 52. Tomorrow it'll be cloudy with a high of 71 degrees and a low of 52 once again. Then on Thursday you can expect similar temps with a high of 69 and a low of 55. This is the first week Torrance athletes are diving into the district's first ever world-class aquatic center. During a special grand opening ceremony, community members, city leaders, and athletes gathered to celebrate its grand opening. The $15 million project has a 60-meter Olympic-sized competition pool, a warm-up pool, bleachers to hold up 500 spectators, and will allow for swim and water polo teams to compete at the same time. We got a first look at the Aquatic Center that is one of a kind.
You know, it's real hard, as I've said, to have outstanding swimming programs when you don't have a facility for the kids. So I think that will upgrade, and I've seen it before, it'll really upgrade the quality of swimming and swimming programs in our community, and we're highly supportive of that.
And don't forget to tune into This Week in Torrance, where we'll take you to the grand opening and hear from coaches and athletes. And before the next half of NewsBreak Live, here's some upcoming events you won't want to miss. Tonight, you can stop over at Destination Art Studio and Gallery in Torrance. International Association of Pastel Societies President Richard McKinley will participate in a design forum and gallery talk. There will be other artists on the panel as well. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased at the event. Then this Thursday, you can celebrate International Women's Day at Madewell at the Donald Fashion Center. You can enjoy some sips, snacks, and shopping, all for a cause. 25% of the proceeds will benefit Girls Inc., a nonprofit that inspires girls. Plus, the Torrance Firefighters Association Spaghetti Dinner will take place this Saturday at the Ken Miller Recreation Center from 4:30 to 8 p.m. The fundraiser will benefit the Elisa Ann Rouge, California Burn Foundation Summer Camp for burn patients. Well, in just 2 minutes, Eve Rappoport, Cultural Services Manager for the City of Torrance, will talk about an exciting tradition that's coming up in just a few weeks. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Every year, humans habitually gather for what they call the summer barbecue. Unfortunately, leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire. could it be?
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
By George, it's Smokey Bear. These friends are going to learn a thing or two about extinguishing hot coals. Indeed, it looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another long quenching drink for the hot coals. Chilling. And finally, a close feel to confirm they're safe to leave. Smokey has this mastered.
Cool? Okay.
Bang on, Smokey.
Hey, Smokey! Catch! Oh. My bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the second half of NEWSBREAK Live, and joining me is Eve Rappoport, the Cultural Services Manager who brings great events to the city. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, Eve.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Your department hosts so many great events across the city yearly, but there is a special upcoming event, the 7th Annual Cherry Blossom Festival. So for viewers who don't know at home, tell me what it's all about.
Well, this is our 7th Annual Cherry Blossom Festival. It's in Columbia Park. It's on Sunday, March 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's a free cultural festival that's produced by the city of Torrance, but we have lots of community partners that help us produce the event.
Tell me how this event came about. I mean, it's been going on for 7 years, as you just mentioned.
Yeah. What happened several years ago, obviously before the 7 years, we were a little squeezed for resources in the city, and all the departments were asked to do some budget cuts. And at that point, my division had been producing, with a consultant, several events like Oodles of Noodles and Wild Wednesdays, and unfortunately, those were the first things that had to go. And at the time, about a year later, my boss, who's John Jones, the Community Services Director, really wanted to try and bring back some kind of a cultural festival to the city of Torrance. And so the idea was, well, we get community people to help us, and we'll do it in-house, and it'll be really inexpensive and on a low-key, small. And that is kind of how it started. But 7 years later, it's really turned into a very large festival, and the focus is Pan-Asian. It's really a celebration of the different Asian cultures that are represented in the city of Torrance. Japanese, Indian, Korean, Chinese, predominantly. So that's really how it started, and every year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which is wonderful.
In just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the details, if someone comes out, what they can expect. But it's called the Cherry Blossom Tree Festival. So the cherry blossom trees do hold a special meaning here in Torrance for people who don't know. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, hopefully people know, but the city of Torrance has a very, very long relationship with Japan and with cherry blossom trees, which are very important in Japanese culture. And I think around 10 years ago, there's a local organization, or there's a local chapter called Soka Gakkai International, or SGI, and they started donating cherry trees to the city of Torrance. And to date, they've probably donated over 150 cherry trees. And so part of the reason that we chose Columbia Park for the festival was there's a very, very large grove of cherry trees there that bloom in the spring. We do have another grove of cherry trees also that are just outside the Cultural Arts Center one has been planted every 5 years in celebration of our 5-year increments of anniversaries with the Torrance Sister City Association too. So actually there are a lot of cherry trees in Torrance, but the meaning behind the cherry trees, which I think we've all adopted, is one of the coming of spring, it's hope, and also the cherry trees symbolize, something about keeping your relationships close to you and important, and nurturing those relationships because they are very important. And I think they also serve as a reminder of that.
And they're really beautiful as well
They're very beautiful.
when they bloom. So that's another plus as well. I know you just talked about the history. So how many cherry trees are currently at Columbia Park?
Unfortunately, the drought has not been friendly to the cherry trees, so I'm not exactly sure right now, but I do know that my department is working with SGI to find places to replace the cherry trees in parks that don't have potable water, because that's apparently the issue. They're very delicate and they don't do well with recycled water. There's too much salt and too little rain. But I drove by this morning and there is one that's blooming. So there will be some cherry blossoms.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you can come out to see those trees blooming.
Yes.
And you did talk about the diverse experience one can experience if they come to the event. So tell me what will happen in the coming weeks.
Okay. Well, the Cherry Blossom Festival will be in Columbia Park, like I said. It's focused on the right off of Prairie, kind of the east side of the park. And we will have the portable stage set up. There's going to be entertainment from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to kick off at 11 with LA Taiko, which does the mochi mochi pounding, which many people have probably seen at the farmers market, or we had them last year. And it's a very kind of intense mochi pounding, for lack of a better word, that's done with taiko music, and it's really fun and people can participate. We're going to have a koto ensemble this year. One of my favorite groups is coming back. It's a local sitar player named Alok Dasgupta, and he and his wife run a school, the Raghavanjani Indian School of Music, and they'll be back performing also. We will have another taiko group that comes on. And we'll have a couple martial arts demonstrations, one by the Torrance Naginata Club and one by Master Don Wertman, the Kukido Studio. So, and we're still pinning down a few other groups, but we also expect to have some hula dancers. So there's lots of entertainment, which is great.
Besides entertainment, there are vendors that come out and other activities. Can you touch upon some of those?
Sure. We work very closely with the Torrance Craftsmen's Guild, who actually helps us get the vendors. There will be craft booths throughout the park, which will be very wonderful, and all kinds of things, that'll be available. This year we have also a face painter and a henna person. And one of my favorites too, there's an Akita dog club that will be there with Akita dogs that are as adorable as anything you've ever seen. And they're very well behaved. You can pet them and that kind of thing. Some of my staff will actually be there with a craft booth, and so we'll have some free craft activities for people and their families. And there's a young man named Richard Yuan, who's a member of the Torrance Youth Council, who's actually been doing origami demonstrations for at least the last 5 years at the festival. And so he'll come out too and do that. And then we have a lot of food. This year, my staff has really gone to town with food. We have food trucks and food booths. And it's a little embarrassing to tell you this, but this is the first year we actually have a Japanese food truck coming, the Okamoto Kitchen. And we're really excited to have them. And again, we'll have Serendogity, which makes these amazing gourmet hot dogs. We have M&M ice cream, Brew Wings, Malasada Donuts, who is at the farmer's market, Kwai Shaved Ice, and Juice Plus. And we'll have Maria's Catering, too, that'll have some Mexican food and kettle corn. So there's quite a lot of food choices to choose from, which is fun.
And as you mentioned, the celebration brings together community members and the diversity here in Torrance. What sets this apart from other events that your department hosts throughout the year?
Well, it is true. The Community Services Department as a whole does host a lot of events. The thing that's really unique about this is it's a cultural festival. It's free and it's very community based, and it's really a celebration of community. And so the focus is a little different than, the Halloween carnival or Breakfast with the Bunny or, some of the other events that the department does put on. But I think it's really important, and we're getting known better and better throughout the South Bay in terms of the festival and drawing people from different regions. So it's good, it's growing.
And for people who are coming out for the first year, I think it gives them an opportunity to also see how diverse the city of Torrance is for many
Yes.
people who may not know that.
Yeah, I think that's true too. I think Torrance is known, to have a long-standing Japanese population, which it still does, which is wonderful. But the truth is there are, an array, a diversity of cultural groups that are here. And we want to also bring attention to them because there's really a lot of richness, I think, in the cultural differences and the cultural traditions that people bring to the festival. And it's wonderful to share that.
Why would you say it's important for your department to host this type of event?
Well, my department, the Community Services Department, our motto is, I have to look it up is creating and cultivating programs and creating an enriching community through people, programs, and partnerships, which is a great motto, and it does really fit the whole department. More than any other department in the city, probably, we really touch the community. I mean, every single division in our department, we're out in the parks, we're in the library, we're doing after school, we have the theater company and the farmer's market. We are really a very outgoing, community responsive organization, and so I think it's just important. Also, I think it's important for government to play a role in bringing culture to the community. I think that's appropriate. I mean, I don't think government's role myself is just, filling potholes, and police and fire, as important as they are, critical functions of the city. To me, it's also important that quality of life issues are addressed, anything that can help bring unity and understanding to the people that live here, and really offer an opportunity for people to mingle, get to know each other and be in a celebratory place. So.
I thought it was really interesting you were mentioning that your department has 5 divisions, which you just mentioned. Is that unusual for a city to have?
Well, I think what's happening in cities, my experience is that there's consolidation going on, and even in Torrance, my understanding was, I believe until several years ago, there were only really 3 divisions, and then sort of, the library came in, and then there's an administrative division that got established too. So I just think cities are consolidating, but I don't think it's so unusual. It's really great to have, though, because, I think we're well supported by the city council, and they come to a lot of our events, and I think they also see the value, in what we do bring to the community.
For viewers tuning in right now, can you explain some of the details for the event, time, date, location once again?
Sure. It's Sunday, March 25th. Columbia Park.
It's free.
It's free, yes, which is essentially at Prairie and 190th Street. There are 3 lots that you can park in. The parking is free. It's a little tight the later in the day that you go, but we do encourage you to come. It is free. There'll be entertainment and food from 11 to 4. Bring your change in your checkbook because there will be really great craft vendors and food, to purchase too. So we hope you'll come out. Rain or shine.
Rain or shine, yeah, with the weather lately. What are some other great events coming up that you can talk to the community about?
Well, we have quite a few actually coming up that we're either responsible for or working on. For one, I do want to give a plug to the Torrance Sister City Association. My division is the city liaison with them, and they do their annual Bunkusai Festival on April 7th and 8th. And it is mostly a kind of a Japanese cultural festival, but what's really important about it is it's their primary fundraiser for their student exchange program, which brings, kids from Kashiwa, Japan, our sister city, here every summer, and then kids from Torrance get to go to Kashiwa, and it's really a great, very unique program. And
one of a kind program as well.
I think so, and also the longevity of it. It's probably 40 years at least, so it's very unique and really worth supporting, and it's a great festival. We have that. On Saturday, April 21st, the Torrance Civic Chorale is having a concert called Mirrors of Culture, which represents music from 5 centuries. We have a new chorale conductor who's been with us about a year, and we have 100 community members strong civic chorale, which is wonderful and really worth hearing and really great. So I encourage you, that's at the James Armstrong Theater. The Torrance Theater Company is producing Almost Maine, which opens on March 17th at their downtown space at 1316 Cabrillo. And also that evening, the Torrance Art Museum Advocates, which are a support group, are holding a fundraiser for the Torrance Art Museum, which is called Odyssey 2. That's also free to attend. This is the second year we're doing it. And what's unique about that is a lot of artists are donating artwork, and everything is for sale for $100. So it's really a kind of interesting opportunity to, get some interesting artwork for a very reasonable price. So those are some of the things that are coming up. And we have our classes at the Cultural Arts Center, which start on April 1st. And I hope people know we offer about 1,200 classes a year in everything from painting and drawing and yoga and martial arts and jewelry making, exercise, dog agility. I mean, just all kinds of classes for every level, for youth through seniors. So
And a lot of these take place at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center, correct?
Yeah, the bulk of them do. There's other outlying sites that we have, but the bulk are at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center, which again is, fantastic facility to take classes in. It's beautifully designed, sprung hardwood floors, a state-of-the-art ceramics facility, state-of-the-art jewelry making facility. I mean, people in Torrance are very lucky with what they have here.
They are.
Yes.
Well, Eve, thank you so much for all that you do and all the great events.
Well, thank you again for having me.
Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
And for viewers at home, please take advantage of all the great resources and events the City of Torrance offers. You can always go to torranceca.gov and check out their main calendar on their homepage to get details. And for updates on the Torrance Cherry Blossom Festival that's coming up, you can go to Facebook. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. For Facebook and Twitter users, use hashtag NewsBreakLive. Have a great night.